have some fan-submitted questions here, and one of them is, what are your feelings on how they portrayed Emmett in the movies versus how he's portrayed in the books?
That question is, how do I feel about my job of portraying Emmett? The guy who did Emmett sucked. Terrible job, terrible actor, should quit, and I don't know.
Well, do you feel like the direction as it
There was no direction. That's why I loved Catherine. I just had so much energy on set. She's like, all right, just go, do that. And I loved, because it's funny being in Oregon, and especially with the weather conditions when we first had to shoot the baseball scenes and fight sequence, and those are like the two biggest scenes in the movie. So it was really kind of crazy just to jump into it, and especially me being a late runner and coming in so late. It was kind of I don't know, a lot of pressure in a way, but the weather was really bad, and I love that. I love the hail, I love the rain, and Wardrobe's like, just get out of the rain, but I had a velour jumpsuit on, so I really, all you do is oh, water's gone, It was funny, but it was so nice to have Catherine allow me to, she released me, took my leash off, and I would just go crazy, and she's like, pump up the cast, because of course the girl's like, my hair, and so it was really nice, and just a lot of freedom. That's why I love Catherine did that. It was so much fun. And in the book, yeah, I hope I brought more to Emmett.
Well, one of the things that I cracked up about, I'm sure everybody else did too, is you were always doing something in the background. You're always back there, doing your stuff. And one of my favorite things that you did is well, that was my question. I actually came up with that question, so just say. Okay, is that when you waved to Bella with a knife, is that your own doing, or did you come up with that?
You know what's funny? When I was at the premiere, I had no idea I did that. It wasn't planned. I remember Jillian, one of the producers, was telling you did the most hysterical thing in the movie, and she was waiting for me to say what I thought I did, and I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, you have to see it. So I'm watching the scene, and I'm like, what am I doing? And then I hear all the fans "Ah!" I was like, yeah, I meant to do that. Yeah, that's good acting right there. No, but it was fun. And Emmett's a background character, so I'm glad I kind of lost myself and just allowed myself to react the way he would, I guess.
Speaking of background stuff, somebody pointed out to me, and it's just crazy, that in the first scene where we see you guys walk into the cafeteria, you're carrying a bag of eggs. What is that about?
Was that in the movie?
Yeah. Actually, you see it in the movie.
Eggs?
Yeah. You don't eat, so how does that work out?
I lay eggs. That's my special talent. My little hatchlings are the newborns, but I train them to do my own stuff. I like eggs. I like eggs. I like milk. Protein. Good old protein. I don't eat the yolks though. Or maybe one or two just for fun. But when you have 16 eggs, you can't eat all the yolks.
So you just love eggs, so you just carry them around and they
No, that was kind of, that's from that, I did a military project called Generation Kill in Africa, and I worked with 39 other guys who were, all we did was sit around in Humvees and lift rocks and do push-ups, and it was all testosterone. And of course our diets, our plan was just to get huge for the project, and in the mini-series, we were supposed to lose weight, but yeah, we were so heady doing that we just kept eating. And I remember every breakfast we tried to see who could eat the most, and my omelet was 16 eggs with cheese and ham, and it was huge on the plate, and I ate it all, and it was always fun. And then we'd have lunch and we'd do the same thing, and I've never, it was a lot of eggs.
You still like eggs?
Love eggs.
Wow.
And now they have the egg beaters, because bless the heart, when I was doing Twilight series, the caterer would have to boil all my eggs, and bless his heart would crack them for me. And so he'd spend an hour. and I'm just here like 2, 3, like done. It's bless his heart for doing that for me. But now they have